okay, I went to make my coffee, and while I was making my coffee, I was smoking. And I like to got high over here. But I had a cough the other day. I need to move this closer. I feel like y'all in my looking down my pants or something. I had a cough. I've had a cough, but it's gone away. So I did honey, red onion, and garlic in a jar. And then I was taking the honey every day. Red onion, garlic, honey. And then if you don't want to take the honey, put it in some warm water and drink it, like drink it with the honey. Put your honey in some warm water. The garlic, onion, honey in the warm water, and then drink it. That's what I was doing too. So the cough has subsided, but I was just smoking, so that's why I was coughing. But so we're down here to talk about the Real Housewives of New York. I took notes. So I feel like I took a lot of notes. I feel like I took a lot of notes, and I'm like, and even though I didn't review the season, how much notes I've taken for the reunion. The reunion is actually really good. I'm glad they did it in 2 parts. I was seeing some discourse. Shout out to the Brooke Ashley. I was seeing some discourse about on Twitter about how Salt Lake City had a great season, but the reunion is a flop. Ooh, girl. I was like, not the reunion, not them going like up in the all I pictured was like a rocket going up in the sky and then falling like I mean, it wasn't that bad, but I haven't watched the 3rd part yet. But there's no reason for it to be 3 parts, honestly, truly. The first part could have been sent in an email via Skype, courier pigeon, even girl. By the time it got to us and we saw the next part, it wouldn't have even mattered because the first part was not good. And I said I was going to come down here and review Salt Lake City, but I'm like, girl, I am not about to what and talk about what. And that's crazy when you think about it because it's like, how do you have so much substance in a season to make it really good? Everybody's engaged to the reunion having no substance. Like y'all don't have nothing to talk about. And what y'all talking about is dumb. I haven't watched the last part. And did you notice there's no husbands on Real Housewives of New York City? They don't have a husband segment. Isn't that crazy? I thought about that yesterday. I was like, oh, no husbands came out at all. Who's married? Pavitt, Gabe, what you call? Would Mel wouldn't come out with the husbands? When would Mel come out? With they just bring all the spouses out at the same time, I guess. But she hangs out with Gabe, so they would have some. They need to get. I don't know about that cat. I don't know about like New York. I don't understand what it is. I don't know. And I was talking. This is how I feel about Potomac. Okay, I have a lot of thoughts. So this is how I feel about Potomac. I don't really like Potomac. I think Potomac should be taken out of the Housewives umbrella and renamed something else. I feel like that for New York. I feel like we would still be like people would watch them because there's like different shows that come on Netflix, shows about people in New York and fashion people and things like that, and they have their reality shows, and I feel like that would be like for New York. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Like, did y'all see Erin? Erin is a trip, y'all. I'm telling y'all gotta watch Erin. Y'all gotta watch Erin. What's Erin's last name? Letchi or something like that. You gotta watch her because she is. I'll get to it. I'll get to it because I took notes. I took notes. Hey, hey, what are you doing? Hold on. So in the hallway, I have the boys put like when it's time to donate clothes and stuff, we just make a stack in the hallway. And Maxine pulled down one of the boys' jackets and wants to lay in it. So so she could lay in it. and sit down. She was scratching it. You know how they be scratching it, sitting down. Anyway, so let's get to the episode. So they start off. Ooh, how long have I been talking? They start off where they left off, and Jessel is talking about how Pavitt is the love of her life, and I don't want Pavitt to ever question my integrity in my relationship. He gives me free reign to do what I want to do, and because of you now, and he might be questioning me and my moves. Brynn says she was just joking. Joking, girl? I said, girl, joking? She was just joking. It was a cute little joke, and everyone was saying it wasn't a joke. They were like, girl, no, it was not a joke. That was not a joke. That was not a cute joke. Sai says she immediately apologized to Jessel when she saw it. She sent her a text because she felt bad. So then they go to Brynn calling Ubah, the angry black woman conversation. What's with the advice, basically, is the question. I don't want you coming off like this. What's the context? Sorry for offending. You know my intentions. Okay, Brynn. I'm sorry I offended you. Girl, I was like, this girl is a trip. Brynn was sitting there the whole time looking for an opportunity to get sympathy for something she's gone through as like I feel like it's really dangerous to conflate like what you went through conflate what you went through to keep it like, and then when anybody is like holding you accountable, you try to conflate what you went through to avoid being held accountable. Does that make sense? She did it with Jeff Lewis. I'm gonna play you what Jeff Lewis said. I'm gonna play y'all what Jeff Lewis said. She did the same thing with Jeff Lewis that it's almost like she just adds to it. She creates the story and that's the story. Like no matter what happened, that's the story. Because she did it with the women too, where they kept saying, no, that's not what happened. And she was like, come on, guys. What do you mean? You want us to go along with what didn't happen? And then at one point, Erin was like, I'm never going to sit up here. I'm not going to sit up here and not tell the truth. So cut it out, even though you weren't telling the truth and trying to avoid. Like when they told you that you were outside having that conversation about Jessel, you act like you didn't have a part in the conversation, and you were very much a part of the conversation. But then did she immediately started talking to Ubah and turned it on Ubah because Ubah was like, come to think about it, in order to back up Jessel, right? She said, come to think about it. When I was watching it, like you don't get a star for saying, okay, guys, that we're talking about her too much. Ubah, like I'm saying, like they all have, it's Erin too. I'm trying to tell y'all, it's Erin too. And then she turned to Ubah and was like, oh, you want to go there? She basically said, because I got a lot of stuff. The same shit. Watch Erin. I'm telling y'all, watch Erin. She tells Ubah, you know my intentions. You know the phone calls of me wanting to protect you. And then here's this thing where it typically occurs with white women. I want to the savior thing. I wanted to protect you and I wanted to save me from myself. You wanted to save me from myself as you continue to fuck with me throughout the whole season? And just like Jessel said in the back when they were on break, she said, it's one thing in my face and it's something else in my back. And that is what makes Brynn dangerous. And then when you're trying to hold her accountable, she wants the rest of the women to, like, there were several times where she was like, come on guys, like you're just like trying to make it seem, why are you guys like, like you're not going along with me. I don't know. Brynn is weird. She says, then she goes, the phone calls of me wanting to protect you. When you were saying they're going to give they're going to give Erin the fair treatment because she's white. Ubah frowned up and Erin said, she didn't say that. Girl, like you, and like you created what's really, okay, see, okay, I have so many thoughts because there's a one thing for carrying a bone from one conversation to the next. But then there's another thing to create a different story. Like literally you cannot play telephone because you create a whole different story to create a different narrative, and then whatever you're telling the person, you are adding, just telling a flat out lie. And it's like you want them to go along with what did not happen. And it's so weird. She's like, several times she was like, come on, guys, you like agree with me, basically. That's how I took it. That's when Erin said, I would never sit here and not tell the truth. She says, then that's when Ubah said, Brynn, if you're gonna apologize, stay there. If you're gonna come from an apology place, don't keep trying to explain. And that's what Jenna was trying to tell her. Like, girl, you're trying to explain what you did as if it didn't have the impact that it had. Like, you're trying to, like, I mean, you have to understand, like, I'm trying to like verbalize it in a way like you understand why I did it, but like, come on, guys. And then what she did later with the sexual assault, I feel like it's so dangerous for a person to like literally use their sexual assault as a weapon to avoid being held accountable for using it as a weapon in an effort to hurt somebody. But like using, like, I want you to acknowledge my pain while I use my pain to hurt somebody else. Don't go over there. It's like she literally said, why didn't Ubah come to me and immediately apologize? Girl, are you crazy? And why didn't y'all come in here and comfort me? Like, my intention was to harm her, right? In order for y'all to feel sorry for me and comfort me, and y'all didn't do that. And then like she's literally telling them, you guys didn't do that. You guys didn't comfort me. Girl, why would we comfort you after we realized that you was lying on Ubah? But we were mad at, for a quick second, we was mad at Ubah. I was like, girl, this girl is crazy. Y'all didn't come in and comfort me. Why didn't Ubah come in and immediately apologize the way she immediately apologized to Erin? Because in that moment, you were lying on her, and they realized you were lying, girl. What don't you understand? And I was not, girl. Ubah is better than me because I felt like Ubah was doing all that for herself. When I have notes, but I have so many thoughts at the same time. Let's go to the notes. I would never sit here and not tell the truth. If you come with an apology, stay there, Brynn. She says, I don't even care about the angry black woman comment because I'm not. I don't even care that you would try to inject that on this screen and say, I don't want you to come off as the angry black woman. Girl, why would that be a concern of mine? Girl, that's not me. Then they get into the conversation of why would you insinuate that if she acts a certain way, Oliver won't marry her? Brynn says, I didn't say that Oliver wouldn't want to be with you. She said I want everything for you. And everybody's like, that's not what you said. Like, and it's like over and over and over. And then that's when later Sai said in the back room, no, was it Sai? No, it was Erin. Somebody said, because they had a bunch of little side conversations. Somebody said, do you think she's gonna admit it? Ubah and Erin, they were in the back during lunch, and she said, do you think she's gonna admit it? And she's like, she's not going to admit that she did wrong because she's believing what she's saying. That's what Erin said. And I feel like that, like everybody was like at the same time, so many people were like, girl, no, like what are you talking about? And then for you to be like, come on guys, I was like, girl, you've lost it. You've lost it, Brynn. Andy says, seems like you were weaponizing. And then Ubah says, well, you know, like the goal is to get a guy who will let you be you. And then you see, go back and watch how Brynn was like, she kind of like, she's in the middle of crying so hard, but then she kind of like, there's like this laugh, like this little laugh, like of kind of like when Ubah says, I'm going to marry this guy. And it was Brynn's reaction to it. Go back and watch it. I was like, she reacted like she was like of joy for Ubah. Like she was happy for Ubah.
Like, you know the good thing about Oliver, and that's why I'm going to marry this guy?
I feel like when people act that way towards people, there's like, it's envious. It's like, because I feel like envious is like a little bit more like what Brynn is doing. Like you're trying to harm somebody that you would. I feel like when you do that, when you want somebody's life, you want to have their experience, not necessarily their life, but you feel like what they're experiencing, you should be experiencing, and you operate in this way to try to say that you want to help them, but at the same time secretly sabotaging them. I feel like that's the way that Brynn is moving. And what's so crazy is that, is it an unconscious thing or is she consciously doing it? Like, would she have done that to anyone else? But she did. She did it to Jeff Lewis. She did it to Jeff Lewis. When Jeff Lewis said, I'll let you hear it. Here, I'll let you hear it. I saved it because I was like, I want you to hear how he explains it. She did the same thing to Ubah. She did the same thing to Sai sitting there. When Sai was like, do you understand that what you did was, you used something, your sexual assault, and try to harm another person? And she goes, watch your language. No, I'm not going to watch my language. Yes, you've been harmed and we are sorry, but bitch, you took that same harm and tried to harm somebody else. And you are not going to use that as a shield when you did in fact use it as a weapon. You can't use it as a shield now. You use it as a weapon later. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. So we're going to continue to talk about it and hold you accountable. And you're not going to keep sitting here and lying about it. Like literally lying about everything. There was so many times everybody on stage was like, that's not, girl, no. And then the crazy part is when she said that Ubah was violent towards her and that she had to lock the door. Is that what she said? Girl, I was like, girl. And then Erin and Sai were like, sit back. Sit back, Ubah. Sit back. Here, where's this thing with Jeff Lewis? Here it is. Here it is.
Thoughts on the finale too, because Jeff, your name was thrown around in a few episodes this season, quite a few.
I was brought into this particular season, and for something that I said, but again, this is what Brynn does. She will misinterpret what you say. She recreates the narrative. She puts words in my mouth. She said that I said something that I did not say, and then she gets everyone rallied up to believe it. You know, what I said from the very beginning, again, because no one else was mentioning it.
Okay.
What do you do for a living? What do you do? We saw you.
I'm not a many child.
A whole season.
Oh, Vicky Gunvalson always wants to know what you do for a living, girl. But that's what she does. And she did it to Ubah. She keeps doing it. And it's like, and it's so weird. And the fact that she doesn't understand, like, it's like, do you understand? But then you do understand because you are upset that the girls did not come in the room to comfort you, and then lied on them again by saying, you weren't comforting me. You were coming to me asking me, who was it? Was he rich? And they were like, nobody said that. Nobody asked you. Like, girl, what? And I'm like, and then I don't understand, like, again, then everybody went and apologized. Like, not apologized to her, but like Raquel going in the room after her. I really feel like, I don't know, like Jenna going in there and talking to her, I guess. I don't know. I just felt like, I don't know. Let me go back to my notes, girl. I felt like what that woman was doing was crazy as hell on stage. And I don't feel like she's talking about, guys, this is too much. I don't feel like it was enough. And I feel like Ubah showed so much grace, so much grace. And it's always that. Like, like, why? I mean, and it's just a person, right? It's just a person. Because why the fuck can this woman do this thing and then Ubah is here extending her grace? Like, no. Like, when I feel like Ubah should have left it at that, but then at the same time, Ubah was like, I have to forgive her in order for me to move on. Did you see when they were playing that? How Brynn's face was like, go back and watch it. When she was crying, saying, Brynn, I'm going to have to forgive her because otherwise she'll clip my wings or something like that. Brynn made this face like, ugh. She also made a face when Raquel said she was lying. Like, I knew she was lying. She was like, go back and watch it. What's your reaction to the backlash of the insinuation? She said it was hurtful. It was hard to hear. She said, sorry that you took offense. I identify as a Black woman, but I don't know your experience. Ubah says, I've had a good experience. I get everything for free. And then they tried to make jokes. But no, you want to believe that I have some awful experience. You want to believe that. You want to project that. Because I don't know. But based on how you're sitting there, woman, your life experience hasn't been that great, and you are biracial white passing. So I don't know what the fuck you got going on over there, but what I got going on over here isn't the struggle that you trying to put on me. Sorry, girl. But when I look at you, I'm seeing a whole bunch of shit going on that needs to be addressed. Ubah got some things to be addressed too, because how she doesn't want to listen to anybody when they are giving her a critique, and her assuming that what they're about to say that they have to defend. Erin did it too. When they mentioned in this package that Erin had to jump in and tell Brynn, like, I don't think the angry Black woman is what's happening here. And then Brynn was like, I mean, not Brynn, Erin. Erin was like, oh, Erin. She was automatically taking offense to the question that was being asked, when the question was only showing that Erin had to correct Brynn in trying this angry Black woman fucking trope towards Ubah. The same thing. All of them doing the same thing. Erin, I'm telling y'all, watch that Erin. Ubah, she don't want, every single time somebody was trying to explain how they experienced her, she didn't want to hear it. That's a flaw. You got to work on it. She at one point said, I agree. The fact that your friends can't tell you, hey girl, they can't come to you about anything because you're gonna be on it for such a long time. You're gonna start talking over them, girl. Nobody's gonna want to say anything to you. And to Andy's point, that's not healthy. That's not healthy. They all got work to do. Everybody got work to do. But that brand, the fact that so many times, I know I'm all over the place, child, but just buckle up. All the times that they like were in unison, like that did not happen. I get everything for free. I don't know. Maybe it is because I'm hot and Black. It absolutely is because she's hot and she's Black. Look at fucking Ubah sitting there. They were trying to say, no, it's not just because. No, yes, it's because she's hot and she's Black. Yes, that's what it's about. I get upgraded. I have had a good experience. You're not gonna put that shit on me, sweetie. You're not gonna put that shit on me. Sorry. And then poke at me for the entire, and then like literally say, don't allow me to fuck up what you got going on with Oliver. But you continue to fuck with me the whole time, like, because you're envious, girl. You're dangerous. I truly hope that Ubah proceeds with caution if she decides to let Brynn in her life. all that shit that they did on the reunion and knowing that they haven't talked to her since then, it means all that stuff. Girl, yes, we understand and we are sorry that you've had that experience. Sorry. But you're not going to use it as a weapon and then turn around and try to use it as a shield to avoid accountability. No, we're not going to play those games. And when I say that you suck dick to get a job, that don't have nothing to do with you being assaulted. They don't have those two things don't go together. I'm sorry, they don't. They don't. They don't go together. Not to me. Oh, you want to go there? Because I've been fucking raped. Okay, so what does that have to do with you sucking dick to get a job? Because you're using it as a shield. You're using it as a shield to avoid accountability for trying to make Ubah look bad the entire season. And why did you want to make her look bad? Oh, because I want Oliver to marry you. No, you don't. And what you said to her could have, like, somebody could be like, girl, what kind of person are you that you would take? I thought it was just like the cancer thing. And then I'm not sure, and I haven't confirmed it, but people keep saying that Ubah's mother, Ubah's mother died of cancer, or somebody cancer is close to her. So Erin trying to say, well, but she immediately went in there. Maybe she understands because it's close to her too. She didn't go in there and apologize to you right away. Why would she apologize to you? It's like almost like, I'm going to use it as a weapon. But when you found out that I was raped, you all should have come and hugged me. Yeah, that's what they wanted to do. But then they realized, oh, wait a minute, girl. You were trying to say that Ubah knew about this, threw it in your face, but she didn't know about it. While we want to hug you, girl, like, that's weird. Why would you do that? Even at one point, Erin was like, man, that's fucked up. Like, it's fucked up. And you sitting here crying, trying not to take accountability. And it's like, but I was raped. No, yes, okay, we understand. Sorry that happened to you. But do you realize what you did? And then she even told Sai, watch your language. No, we actually need to talk. We need to say it. Because if we're watching our language, yes, we need to watch it and say exactly what you did. Girl, that girl's crazy. Is anyone friends with her? I feel bad. Jenna goes in there and they were like, Jenna, your faces. And Jenna was like, I don't know, because she's talking in circles. And then someone said, I hope she'll admit it. And it's hard because she believes everything she's saying. Brynn is in there putting on the waterworks to Sai. Sai said she's in there performing. And then why would y'all send Jenna? You know she's going to put on. She was like, I'm scared. Girl, what are you scared of? Oh, yeah, you want to go there? I keep going back to the moment she said that Ubah knew she was raped. When she says, oh, you want to go there? Like, I'm about to use this shit against you, bitch. And then turn around and be like, wait a minute. I admitted it right away. And then that took away everybody's feelings towards you. They're talking about, we were so mad at Ubah. Raquel said, I didn't even want to look at Ubah. Like, girl, did you do that for real? And then I feel like that was a bit performative, because in the argument, they're having an argument. So y'all feel like, oh, because this what happened to her is so severe that we have to show her that we feel sorry for her. And that's what in Brynn's head, that's what she thought was going to happen. That was the intent. And she kept mentioning it. Oh, you guys didn't come in there and comfort me. Ubah didn't come in there when she realized that I had been raped, even though I just used it as a weapon. When Ubah realized I had been raped, why didn't she come in here and comfort me? Girl, no. What the fuck is wrong with you, girl? That's what I'm saying. Like, when I was sitting there, I watched it again this morning. I was like, Girl, no. No, that's why I'm all over the place, because I just watched it right before I started. Erin and Jessel. Erin and Jessel. Oh, she shows you one thing and she projects another. Jessel says, I haven't talked to her. And then even at the end, she's apologizing to Jessel and she's going like, and I'm sorry to Jessel. And even if I have to get on top of the Statue of Liberty, whatever the fuck she said, girl, shut up. You realize that this lady said her husband questions her now because of some shit you said? Remember when I told you, when somebody tells a lie on you to change your reality, how you don't fuck with them ever again? This is an example of that. This is an example of that. Jessel's reality with her husband has been altered because of some shit you said, bitch. And it was a lie. So you told a lie that altered my reality. I could never, girl, fuck with you again. Sorry, Brynn. I'm sorry. Jessel should never fuck with that girl again. No. Absolutely not. No. Rebecca comes out. Girl, that's when I stopped watching it. That's why I had to rewatch it again. Because when Rebecca came out, I stopped watching. I honestly did. She came on the show to promote her brand. Hopefully it's doing well, and hopefully it increased her sales, because that's what she came on for. She used that she was a well-known Scientologist to get on the show, but did not want to talk about Scientology. All religions are a cult, girl. End of period. They all are. They are all a cult. All religions are a cult. Some are just larger than others. Some have more members than others, right? So, period. So, I don't know if, I think the Scientology has been classified as a religion and has been recognized as a religion. She explains that she uses its philosophy to, work on her mental health, to operate a big business. She's using it for good. If it helps a person, girl, go for it. But we're not going to act like Scientology is not what it is. Girl, I used to live close to the Celebrity Center, in Hollywood, the Celebrity Center, girl. People, when you go, I remember one time this guy was like, let's go to the Scientology place and ask questions. I said, you can go. I won't. Girl, we've seen the Scientology documentary, so we're not gonna act like it's not, like we're not gonna not talk about what it's not. And that's what Rebecca, I'm sure, wants to avoid. I mean, this her whole Leah Remini is like, Tom Cruise, we know what it is about Scientology. So, and she says, I feel like y'all wouldn't be focused on this if it wasn't Islam, Christianity, or I mean, maybe in its early times, conversations like that would have been happening about the creation and of these other organized Abrahamic religions, ran by men, created by men. Scientology, L. Ron Hubbard. You understand what I'm saying? It's the same framework. It's the same framework, right? The men in there doing what they're not supposed to be doing. People, like, I mean, it's the same shit and everything. If a man is at the helm, girl, what are you expecting to be going on in the organization or the cult? Andy wanted to go back to, what is this approved language? Like, girl, y'all rehearsing? Talking about what you're going to say before you say it on camera? Oh, okay. Is that what we're doing? I'm sure she wasn't asked back. She says she's not coming back, but I'm sure she wasn't asked back. After that, approved language, girl, please. I can see them saying, girl, we're not going to talk about this, what we don't catch on camera, but approved language. Was it okay for me to ask her, was she Jewish? How are you Jewish and Scientologist at the same time? Okay. The reason why she wants to be careful of what she says is because all of the stuff that goes on with Scientology, and everybody knows what it is. Jessel, Rebecca, and Raquel went out asking her questions about Scientology, trying to understand what it means to her. And then they're like, why wouldn't you do it on camera? She was like, I was very reluctant. Like, I don't know y'all. I don't know what you're, how you're going to bring it or whatever. I mean, I feel like that's with anybody. If we wanted to talk about religion, whatever religion you practice, I feel like anybody talking about it, I mean, and questioning what does it do for you and how do you feel it, I mean, all of that, that's always going to be create conflict and in some, I mean, like, look at the world, like it creates conflict in some kind of way. So whether it's Scientology, Islam, Christianity, Judaism, if we wanted to sit down and talk about Judaism, there's gonna be some things that Erin would or Andy would be like, wait a minute, girl, wait, hold on a second. Same thing with anybody. So I can understand her, but Scientology is a newer religion, and so all of this, everybody is able to see it in real time, what's happening in real time. So all of these age old religions, in their inception, I'm sure there were people around like, girl, what the fuck is this? Like, this is crazy. This sounds crazy. What are these men doing? What's going on? Why are these children? Where are these people? What's going on here? You understand what I'm saying? So her not wanting to talk about it or being like apprehensive because I don't know what you're gonna say. I don't know if are you gonna try and be funny with something? Or are we gonna have to be on this motherfucker arguing about religion or our religious beliefs or whatever the fuck? Do y'all really want to do that? Do y'all really want to do that? Like, people really don't want to do that, right? Because like, what are we really talking about? At the end of the day, that's your belief, whether we argue down or not. At the end of the day, you're gonna believe what you're gonna believe. She gonna believe what she gonna believe. So what are we talking about? Oh, do you want to talk about all the scandals? Girl, I'm not affiliated with that. I don't have nothing to do with that. What's next? Then she told the girls to say no comment. Brynn said, that's weird. No, you could say, I don't know. I can't answer the questions. Like, literally, you can say that. I really don't know that much about it. I can't answer the questions. Send them to me. I'll answer the questions. But Andy was like, what's this approved language? I was like, okay. He caught that. Anyone can say anything. We're on a reality show. It shouldn't be scripted. And then they were like, okay, does anybody have any questions for Raquel? Andy was like, okay, well, what do y'all want her to do? Do I get demiked? Andy was like, what y'all want her to do? Girl, don't ask me. I don't know. At this point, I'm talent too. Shit. She walked off stage. They were like, ooh, girl, that was so awkward. It really was how they ended. The way that Andy was like, anybody else got any other questions for Raquel or Rebecca? Everybody was like, nope, I think we're good. Girl. So when they were playing, Brynn's face during the Puerto Rico playback, go back and watch her face, especially when Raquel called her a liar. And then when Ubah said, I'm not going to let her clip my wings, and like was expressing how she has to forgive her for what she did. Brynn was like, oh, like, okay, bitch. The room situation. Raquel talks to Ubah. Ubah interrupts because just like Erin said, you're assuming what's going to be said, and so you're already trying to talk over me and respond to me. You're not even allowing me to finish what I'm saying. I would not be able to talk to Ubah because you're gonna have to stop talking while I'm talking. You cannot talk while I'm talking, and how do you even know what I'm going to say to you? That's what Erin was trying to tell her. Like, girl, you don't even know what I'm about to say. And you just always want to talk over and assume that you know what somebody's going to say and try to correct them. And what are you correcting? You're not even listening. You're not even listening. She said, why don't we have assigned rooms? Andy said, it's not always like that. They were talking about the inlet and Puerto Rico and how she wasn't talking about the ocean. She was talking about that little like kind of like a drain way, and she didn't want to step in it. She said, I apologize for messing up your childhood memory, but the water was disgusting. It was what it was, but I wasn't. And she said, I didn't tell anybody not to go swimming. The way that they cut it, the way she was walking from that inlet saying that water is disgusting. And then I guess that was around the time, I guess at the same time Brynn was saying she was going to go pee in the ocean. She says, I love Puerto Rico. I was not talking about Puerto Rico. So that's what it was. But you have to listen. you have to understand how it looks, how it's perceived after you say that's so disgusting. Oh my God, don't go in there. And to Rebecca and Sai's point, nobody wants where they're from to be described using the words disgusting and don't go in there and it's so gross. Like nobody wants to hear that about where they come from. And I think Ubah would understand that. I'm sure she wouldn't want anyone going to her home country and saying negative things about it, whether or not it was true. Like whether or not the beach was disgusting, sometimes you just keep it here. Like you don't always have to say it, right? You don't have to always say it out loud and express it out loud. Sometimes you just say it but not out loud. Like don't be rude. And then when somebody is trying to tell you that what you were saying was rude, you are interrupting them. It's more rude. Now it's like it's getting worse. You're not making it any better. Like be quiet and allow somebody to explain to you that what you did made them feel a certain way. Like you don't even want to acknowledge that you hurt their feelings. That was hurtful to say that. Even though, yeah, I meant what I said, but it was hurtful. So I don't know if they want her to apologize, but I said what I said and I'm not changing it. Sorry that you're uncomfortable, but I don't get like that until somebody is lying, deceiving, or trying to twist things. And they said it just takes forever with Ubah. It's like a timely argument. Erin says that Erin starts to talk. Ubah interrupts her, and she tells her, "You assume things, you get triggered before you even know what the issue is." She tells Raquel, "I don't care. Like, I don't care. Basically, I didn't mean it that way. Whether you took it that way or not, basically, I'm not changing what I said." Basically, that's what Ubah was saying. Erin tried to lie too. That's what I said when they were talking to Jessel. Do you want to, set the record straight with Jessel and how you were actually in on the conversation talking about her? And she says, well, I wasn't saying much. And everybody's like, no, you were a member of the conversation. You were adding to the conversation. You were talking about her. And then she says, well, I did stop everybody when it got too much. And that's what Ubah said. You don't get a sticker for that. And then she turned around and said, in fact, when I was watching it back, I got mad because you switched the whole conversation. And then Erin interrupts her and starts talking about how, oh, you want to go there? Did you hear her? Because I have a lot of stuff on you. No, you need to be held accountable for sitting there with everybody, contributing to the conversation and talking about Jessel. She says, well, yeah, I was in on the conversation. And then immediately she goes to start talking to Ubah after Ubah tries to call her out for switching the entire conversation and lying the same way Brynn does. I'm telling you, Brynn and Erin are one and the same. They are one and the same. It's just that, I don't know. Even the way they did it, I don't know. Watch Erin. Why go there with Brynn knowing that she just went through it with Jeff Lewis? She said, I didn't even know what was going on with Jeff Lewis. I didn't know nothing was going on with Jeff Lewis. Sometimes I say things and he says, what's the difference between sucking somebody's dick or sleeping with somebody? She tried to explain there is no difference. You did a sexual act to get ahead. There's no difference. Sucking dick or fucking. I mean, what's the difference, girl? There's no difference. She says she regrets saying that, knowing what I know now. I don't even know how the two go together. I don't know how the two go together. And I feel like Brynn is trying to make other people feel bad because maybe as a victim of sexual assault, maybe she feels guilty in herself for how she comes off. And so, with being overtly sexual, being so flirtatious, maybe she's carrying, because a woman who is like that, if she was assaulted, in her mind create feeling guilty, like maybe I express myself too much. And then I think maybe she is projecting that, like maybe that's what everybody else is thinking. So when like maybe thinking her behavior is leading to what happened to her, or like the way that you're so this and that, that's probably why that happened to you. You understand what I'm saying? Like putting those kind of things together. But nobody knows that happened to you. Nobody knows that happened to you. Jeff didn't know that happened to you, right? So Jeff doesn't. And then the thing with Jeff, he was saying that he was correlating, where do you get your money from? You can't answer the question about what you do. Nobody has seen you work. What do you do? What do you do? Everybody wants to know. Even Vicki Gunvalson was like, I want to know too. Like, I've been asking that, what do you do? You're going to put into Jeff's mouth that he called you a sex worker. He did not say that. You're getting your income supplemented. But because you act like this vivacious, and she even projected that in the room with the girls. When I told y'all I was raped, y'all were asking me, who's the guy and was he rich? They were like, we didn't ask you that. All of these things are things that are happening in her mind. She puts them in there, and then she holds you accountable for the shit she made up. You understand what I'm saying? That's dangerous. Why would you make that accusation against Ubah? Like, be very clear. No one doubts that you experience. And then she was like, just because I don't, she says, okay, here she goes. I word vomited when I was talking about it, and I didn't feel the love from you all. And I said, which was the intent? She's mad it didn't work. She is mad that what she intended on doing by making Ubah look bad, by using her sexual assault as a weapon against Ubah, y'all were supposed to comfort her and feel empathy for her. And meanwhile, have Ubah look like this awful person who would do this. And y'all didn't come comfort me when y'all found out I was raped. That's basically what she was saying. And I was like, this girl is literally upset that what she intended on doing didn't work, basically. And it was because they didn't come comfort her. And then she lied on all of them by saying, y'all were asking me, what? Y'all asking me, was the guy rich? And who was he? And they were like, no, nobody asked you that. Nobody asked you that. Jenna said, no, Brynn said, and well, I said in her defense, and they were like, no, you did not say in her defense, girl. Maybe she didn't clock it. They were like, you did not say that. And then she was like, be careful. Like, basically, I can lie on somebody. I can say what I want to say. But as soon as you start to hold me accountable for using my essay against this woman, I'm going to tell you, be careful. I've been essayed. Be careful. You understand you understand? Like, and then the fact that she keeps using it, and then really she was not pleased that it didn't work. And she several times expressed how it didn't work. Jenna said it felt careless. Then as soon as Jenna starts talking to her, she starts crying. What state was I in? Just because I don't scream and run to the bathroom and throw up. That's what Ubah did. So you're basically saying, just because I didn't emote like Ubah, y'all should have came in there and still comforted me. Like she was literally banking on nobody comforting the quote angry Black woman. Are y'all following me? I know I've been smoking a little bit. I'm all over the place because I just watched the episode. She says, you guys are just holding me to this one little thing, and it wasn't an allegation. She was like, I thought it was just going to be like the cancer thing with Erin. Why wasn't that the reaction? Why didn't Ubah come in and comfort me? I said, girl, this girl is crazy. Why didn't Ubah come in and comfort me? Andy said the context was hinging on that Ubah used threw something in your face when she knew you had been assaulted, and you weren't even sure or not whether she heard you, and that's damaging. Ubah says, I even went to you and told you, remind me when you told me that. Because when Ubah went down the hall, she said, Brynn, you told me that you were raped. That's what she said. Like, you told me that? And then did you see the way, if you go back and watch that, you see the way when she was walking down that hall, how after she hugged Eric, how she just like walked very slowly into the room. Like, you knew what you did. You knew what you did. And the fact that you're sitting here in so many tears because no one came to comfort you after that, girl. She says, you were chasing me. She said, I didn't chase you. She said, and I heard what you texted her. She said, you said I was violent towards you. And then she told her, you're a fucking psycho. They showed it. Sai was like, run the tape. Because, girl, what are you talking about? You're a fucking psycho. You saw her standing there yelling at Brynn. Girl, since the day you met me, you've been trying to sabotage me, basically. She was like, and I always speak up for you. And then you do this to me. And that's when Erin was like, yeah, man, that's fucked up. She was like, it's fucked up, man. You weaponize your experience for the downfall of a friend. Brynn said, watch your language with me, girl. And then that's when Jessel's like, you're making it sound so trivial. It was very wrong. Good thing I forgive you, but we will never go back to the way we were ever. I want nothing to do with you. I am so hurt. She said, and it wasn't over for us as a friendship, but we're done. I want to go back to when I didn't know who the fuck you were, period. She should have left it right there with her. And Brent says to the other women, after all of it, no one comforted me. She was back on that. Erin and Jenna said they reached out. She's like, I'm a woman dealing with two things. We understand that. Everybody understands that, girl. But it's hard to comfort you when you need that. When you just, first of all, blurted it out there for everybody, which was violent in itself. Blurted it out, and then like blurted it out in an effort. Like, I don't even have to keep explaining. We know what you did. We know what you did. She said, stop lecturing her, girl. I said, girl, this girl's a trip. Do you think that anyone here doubts that you had your experience? And she says, I don't know. Ubah gets up and hugs her. She gets up and hugs her. And she said, I would never blame you. Ubah says, you need to apologize to the girls. This is while they're hugging. You need to apologize to the girls. They love you. And she goes, no, they don't. Then in the break, Ubah and Brynn sit back. And she was like, I wasn't trying to take you down. She's like, well, it felt that way. And she says, I'm sorry. She says, you know me. She says, you protected me. I wanted to call you. She says, why didn't you call me? She was like, I was scared you were going to be mad. Ubah says, it's going to take me a minute. It's going to take me a minute, girl. Sai said, I never want to be her friend. She was like, Ubah was kind considering that those allegations could have ruined her. Brynn says, I'm sorry to Ubah. She says, I forgive you. And she said, sorry for what I said. And she's like, I'm proud of you. You're going to help a lot of people. You need to apologize to the girls. And she's like, I feel like I can't undo it because you literally like use it as a weapon against Ubah, but like blurted it out. None of those people had known that about you. And you blurted it out. And they are like conflicted, right? Because they want to feel sorry for you because that's the response, right? A person shares with you they've been sexually assaulted. The response is to comfort them and tell them that you are bad. That's why I feel like a lot of that was performative and she wanted them to like play the whole performative thing out. But I'm glad that they were like, wait a minute. Yeah, you've been raped and yeah, you've been assaulted. But no, what you just did right now, that was wrong. So while we want to feel sorry for you and while we want to hug and embrace you, and that's what she intended, that's what she wanted them to do. But they went towards Ubah because you used that against Ubah. Nobody is doubting your experience, but you were wrong, girl. You were so wrong. Did you see them in the back drinking champagne, talking about it's ginger ale? They did not want them to drink, honey. They come out. Oh, no. Raquel says there's no way that she thinks that we're making light of it. Jenna and Sai say they're starting to feel sorry for her. Raquel goes over to Brynn's, and which I felt was very performative as well. Like she goes over to her room and tells her, we really love you. Our hearts are broken for what you've been through. And then she was like, oh, you get it. You get it. It sounds like it sounds like you've been through something like that as well. And that is what Brynn wanted to happen. She wanted to throw out there that Ubah did not take her essay into a consideration. And so everybody go and comfort Brynn and be mad at Ubah. Push Ubah away. No, but if you fucked up and you lied on Ubah. But not only just Ubah, you lied on Jessel. Like you are just lying on people and then not really like taking accountability, by saying, yeah, I fucked up by I lied. Yeah, I lied. I switched that up. Yeah, y'all, I did that. She's not doing that. And then trying to make it seem like, oh, it was just a joke. That's not a joke. Now that woman's husband is looking at her sideways, that's not a joke, girl. Brynn, there's like with envy, someone being envious of you, it's like they're literally smiling in your face and like stabbing you in the back. And that's what Jessel said to Erin in the back. She said, like she shows you one thing, but when you're not around, she's saying something else about you. And then the fact that she said, like, we bond over making fun of Jessel. Making fun of her? But it's almost like what you're making fun of, if you had the means, my dear, you would totally do it. You take a couple photo shoots too. Don't act like you're not posting shit to Instagram for images and you've posed for them. You would do the same thing if you had the means. And it's like you're talking shit. Like, and then leaving like those kind of passive aggressive, like you're a little bitch, right? Leaving her birthday party for a tan, like something so like for a spray tan. You're leaving at 10 o'clock, like this is nighttime. Like you're going somewhere for a spray tan at night, almost as though the birthday party doesn't mean anything, and it doesn't mean that much to me, so I'm leaving your birthday party. But it's really a dig, like it doesn't mean that much to me. She did it to everybody. And it's like, I don't know, do you want to be around somebody who's envious of you? They're so envious that they would create constant conflict with you, but then at the same time say, I protect you. I want to protect you from being the angry Black woman. Why you fuck with me all season, girl? And because the way Ubah responds to things, it's going to be explosive. Because who the fuck are you to lie on me, bitch? And how dare you? When all I do is speak up for you and worry about you. Like all of them, we're so worried about you. What she intended to happen, she kept bringing it up. Y'all didn't come comfort me. Y'all didn't come comfort me. Girl, do you realize what you did? Yes, she does. And what she intended to happen didn't happen. And so she's telling y'all what I wanted to happen when I used my essay as a weapon against Ubah so that she could look like the angry Black woman. Y'all was supposed to come and comfort me, and y'all didn't come and comfort me. Girl, and I'm so glad the season is over. I am. I'm glad the season is over. I'm glad Salt Lake is over. What's it called? It is about to start. Atlanta's about to start. That was the end of the episode. Wait, let me make sure. Oh, when they came back out, does anybody want to say anything? You can still be angry and care about a person. We care about you deeply. We don't want to ostracize you. And then that's when Brynn said, I'm sorry for multiple things. Jessel, if I got to get on top of the Empire State Building, I don't know. She didn't even look in Jessel's direction. Then Ubah, I just wanted a hug from Ubah. I need to stop being avoidant, and I want to be a better friend. They really should have put at the end of this episode, like the women haven't spoken to Brynn since the reunion. They really, because that was the truth of the matter, which just shows you like it was just all, I needed you guys to be on my side, and you weren't, and you're supposed to be, because I was a victim of SA, and y'all didn't do that. But they realized, I'm not going to explain it again. People said Brynn is not the only one they don't want to come back. That people said they don't want the entire cast to come back. I don't know. Y'all let me know. Tell me what you think of the episode. That was a long ass review. I know I was all over the place. Y'all have been smoking reefer, and just doing my thing. And, that's how it goes. I had just so many thoughts in my head because what she was doing is just like so interesting to watch it be done. And then like for somebody to be lying and then like everybody on stage to be like, that's not what happened. And then for her to be like, come on, guys, like, agree with me, like, but no, we're not going to sit up here and lie. And then like you're lying, like, and it's so interesting to watch. It really is. Anyways, take care of each other, protect your energy. Let me know what you think. Let's continue the conversation down in the comments. Peace.